All right, good morning and happy Monday, everyone. It is the 14th of April. Don't forget, we got a short week this week. Markets are closed on Friday. So we've got today, tomorrow, Wednesday, and Thursday to get down and get busy. But all right, guys, let's look at a few of the pre-market movers and shakers here. We got gold down about 0.5, S&P futures up 1.5, NQ up 2%, the RUT up about 1.3, Bitcoin up about 1.5. I'm looking for an entry here on Bitcoin. They do have a 1 hour and a 30-minute squeeze going, so maybe getting long some Bitcoin here today. YM up 1, silver up 4. I'm sorry, silver up 0.9, and then crude oil up 1.3. So good pop here in the futures, and we're coming off of what I would call a pretty crazy week. The size of the ranges from last week's daily candles, crazy stuff. Let's see, your Monday candle has about a about an 8.5% range from top to bottom. Tuesday had about a 7 range. The Wednesday candle had about a 10% range. And then things were a little bit more quiet back on Friday with only about a 3% range. So a lot of crazy action, a lot of back and forth. Into the open today, when I look at that daily chart, they haven't fixed any of the issues yet. So I don't think you're waking up today with a better looking weekly chart, a better looking daily chart. It's a negative 11, bear momentum, bear structure, and bear trend. Now, I do think this week, if they can get it and keep it back above that 21 EMA, and I think the trick might be getting 2 closes back above it, 2 closes back above that 21 EMA, then they can maybe take it a bit higher. I want to be a little bit careful about jumping in and getting long here too quickly. Could be a situation where you flush, you rally back to a falling 21, you get a big rejection, right back down you go, rally back to your 21, and you could get rejected again. So I think for the S&Ps, QQQs, NVIDIAs, and the Apples, that'll be a pretty important over-under level for this week. Get it and keep it above your daily 21. Then I think you're coming in there and you're looking for, you want to buy it on a 5-minute squeeze, want to buy it on a 15-minute. Back above that 21. Want to be a little bit patient about waking up and buying every call here this morning. Quick peek at the QQQ futures. And let's see, maybe, yeah, NQ might be trying to lead that charge. All right, big flush, rally back to a 21. Now, we did get 2 closes back above it. All right, 1 close and 2 closes. Didn't stop the market from rolling right back down. So the key is get it and keep it back above that 21. Then we got to get a bunch of buy signals, guys. Right now the NQ only has a. Think about it. Put it in proper context. We're up about 2% into the open. We're popping 2%. We only get a 1 hour and a 5-minute buy. I think it'll be a much easier long and a much better long if you're getting those couple of closes back above that 21. And then we're looking over here, and there's a 1 hour, a 30-minute, a 15-minute, a 5-minute. The more the merrier as far as buy signals. So NQ may be trying to get the job done here. Little pop back above that 21. And then for a few names, kick it off at the Apple. Apple set to open around 210 to 211, which is about a 5 or 6% pop. Looking like we should open back above 21 EMA. And again, I think to want to jump in there and buy Apple for a further push, that'll really be the key. One, can they hold it and close it above that 21 EMA? And then I would like to think on a 5 or a 6% pop, we should get a couple more buy signals. Apple only had a 15-minute here at Friday's close. I'm not going to be in a big rush. If anything, I'm kind of thinking on the gap this morning. The higher, the better. Let them gap it up. Let them pump it. Then maybe later today, maybe later in the week, above that 208, 2010. And maybe I can buy Apple on a 5-minute squeeze. I can buy it on a 15-minute. I just want a little bit of proof. They're going to keep it and hold it above that level. Jump in, buy on the gap up today. We could quickly come back into that 208-ish. Then things could get a little hairy for the Apple. So good looking gap there. And then from Apple, we can jump to NVIDIA. Looking like an open around 115-ish. And hey, if NVIDIA can stick the landing, that should be your second close back above that 21. All right, from there, I'm going to look for a 5-minute, 15-minute, 30-minute squeeze. I'm going to look for a 5-minute, 15-minute, 30-minute buy signal. And then above that 110-ish level, I could buy NVIDIA for, if not for a day trade, maybe a quick overnight kind of long. I'm not at a point yet where I want to come in here and, all right, I'm going to buy the June expiration QQQ calls, and I'm buying the August expiration NVIDIA calls. I don't think we're back into that kind of market. So more of a day trade short-term focus above that 110. Couple lower time frame buy signals, couple of lower time frame squeezes. I'm going to take that from a 21 EMA into that 50 SMA. Looks a little bit deceiving right now, these ranges. From your 21 up into your 50, that's about it's about an 8.5 to 9% pop. So I don't have to be in a big rush, right? Even if I buy NVIDIA around 115, right? They gap it up, they hold their 21, they give me a 15-minute squeeze buy trigger. If I'm buying the thing around 115, a pop into my 50 SMA, that's still going to be about a 4% pop. We can pull some decent cash out of a 4% pop. So I think, yeah, for the NVIDIAs, the QQQs, S&Ps, Apples of the world, that'll be a big key this week, guys. The gap up can look bullish, it can feel bullish, it can smell bullish. It can definitely be a little bit exciting. Think back to the NVIDIA pop you had from back here. A big pop off the bottom. That's about a 16% rally. And they try holding their 21 EMA, can't quite do it. Pop back above, try holding it, can't quite do it. We got to get out of that downtrend dynamic. Flush, rally back rejection. Big flush, rally back rejection. They can bring that to a pause, a couple closes back above that level. And again, I think NVIDIA should be in good shape for the second close back above that 21. So that's one thing we're going to keep an eye on here. And then let me check the Bitcoin futures. I would like to buy some here. I think it's a decent spot for a good risk reward long. All right, little pop back above your 21. So call it 84,000. I want to buy it above that 84. And then I sit my trade on a break back below the 84. Now, can a guy get a good looking squeeze? Get a 2-hour buy, a 1-hour buy, 15-minute, and a 5-minute buy. Let's go see the 30-minute. Yeah, so close. They've got the trend, they've got the structure, they got to get that momentum. So pay attention here. If they can get the MACD line back above 0, at that point we should get the white arrow, and the white arrow could kick off a pretty good pop here. No trigger, no trade for now. And then the 1 hour on the Bitcoin. Yeah, no white arrow just yet. It's got 13 points out of 15. We're looking for the full 15. So nothing to do on the Bitcoin futures. What about the NQ? And again, find good spots to anchor to. Looking at the hourly NQ, I think you got a great spot here. You have your hourly 21. You have the hourly trending stop. Now I can get a really good trigger. I can buy it around 19,190. And then I can jump ship on that long and a break back below, call it 18,950-ish. So let's go see. Anything for a trigger? $15-minute squeeze getting pretty close. Got the trend, got the structure, need the momentum. But pretty much my whole game right now is just sitting back, no opinions or biases. I'm not bullish, I'm not bearish, I'm being flexible, and then just pretty much sitting back all day watching these squeeze columns. Right now I'm on the 30 minute. Um, well, it disappeared on us, but Amazon here on the 5 minute. That's a moment in time I'm looking for, and it could be a 5 minute, it could be a 15, it could be a 30, like the rut on the 30 minute. Yeah, so that's the kind of moment in time I'm looking for right now. Not on a bigger time frame like a weekly chart, not on a bigger time frame like a 2 day time frame, a daily chart. Trying to find that squeeze opportunity down on a 5 minute, a 15, 30 minute, 1 hour, all the above. And what I like about that is if I take if we go buy calls based on a weekly squeeze, that kind of implies we're calling for a bigger move. And in most cases, a bigger move will take more time. Good example is the weekly squeeze I had in Apple from last year. Uh, you know, think about A, how long it took for Apple to simply set up, and then B, how long it took for Apple to actually break out and fire. So we get a white dot back on the 18th of November. The squeeze doesn't fire until the 18th of December. So you spend 4 weeks in all the back and forth, but it's a bigger time frame and a good-looking squeeze. It can eventually make for a nice move. But you got to be in a market where you can call for, day after day, if not week after week of strength. I don't think we're in that kind of market. So I don't want to find it on a weekly chart. But if I can find it down on a 15 minute or a 5 minute, I think it's a great plate of opportunity as far as an intraday trade. If you can catch even 15 to 30 minutes of strength or weakness, that can get the job done for you. All right, plenty here on the Bitcoin. No trigger just yet. Watching the NQ, watching the S&P futures. They got a 30-minute and a 15-minute going. All right, guys. So for those of you in my room, maybe a couple of futures trades trying to line up here this morning. Again, I'm liking Bitcoin above that daily 21. I think it's if we do get a buy trigger, I think it's a good spot as far as risk reward. And then you got the S&Ps pumping, NQ pumping. Plenty to work with there. And then for the Big Ten, no lack of squeezage. Plenty of squeezing taking place. We have Netflix. Netflix almost has a squeeze across time frame. The weekly, the 3 day, the 2 day, the daily, the 4 hour, the 2 hour, the 30-minute, 15-minute, and the 5 minute. Now, Netflix also has earnings this week, which shall not be dull. I want to say it's going to be the 17th. Yeah, earnings on the 17th, which would be, what's that, Thursday? Yeah, Thursday the 17th. So, again, for one, I don't think we're in a great swing trading market. And to be fair, when you have a weekly, a 3 day, a 2 day, daily, 4 hour, 2 hour squeeze, in a good market, you do want to swing trade that. Look at Netflix back here from last October. We did have a very similar dynamic. Weekly chart was squeezing, daily chart was squeezing. There was a 4 hour squeeze, a 2 day squeeze. The beauty of that is, if you got a 4 hour squeeze, and that's inside of a daily squeeze. Think of those nested dolls. 4 hour squeeze inside of a daily squeeze inside of a 2 day squeeze, 2 day squeeze inside of a weekly squeeze. Well, when the 4 hour squeeze down here finally fires, that can trigger that bigger domino effect. They break a 4 hour squeeze long. That can kick off a decent push. As they fire that 4 hour squeeze, they might go and wake up that daily squeeze. If they can fire the daily squeeze long, you've unlocked an even bigger push. Now you're pushing higher off the daily squeeze. They go and fire the 2 day. Right. Now you're going even higher. They go and wake up the weekly. Now you're going for an even bigger move. So it is a beautiful thing to be a part of. But again, I don't think we're in a great swing trading market. A lot more ideal. The S&Ps and QQQ look a little bit more like Nvidia. Right, better trend, better structure, couple weekly squeezes, couple of daily squeezes. And then two, I wouldn't want to trade it here into earnings. They might gap the thing down 10%. They might gap it up 20%. And then the fourth thing would be, even if we were in a great market and even if earnings were 90 days away, I don't have any buy trigger. And I love this squeeze, of course, but a squeeze without a buy trigger is just a glorified chop fest. Right. No weekly buy, no daily, no 15, no 5, no 30-minute, no 4-hour. So I show you this one to say, pay attention. I think at some point this year, great way to look at it. If they break that weekly squeeze short, we've got that -3 ATR target down around $700. So yeah, probabilities wise, if they do break that squeeze short, it could be a path down to about 700 and change. They go and pop it and break it out and they fire the squeeze long. That could be a move into 1100, 1150-ish. So I don't think you have a trade here today. I don't think you have a trade here this week. Get through earnings at a minimum. And then, maybe even after earnings, you're looking at it thinking, it might look like a better long. It might look like a better short. Maybe not a right market for a swing trade. But to our benefit, I think we found it nice and early. All right, we're only going to be about 1, 2, 3 weeks into that brand new weekly squeeze. Let's collectively keep an eye on it, watch it, keep on talking about it. And I do think at some point this year, whether it's a move down to 700 or it's a ripper into 1100, at some point along the way, we should get better signals, better structure, a better market behind it. Should be a big trade there at some point. Today, my friends, is not going to be that day. And then a little bit more up my alley as far as a current market. We got 30 minutes in Broadcom, Tesla, Google, Meta, Nvidia, Netflix, Amazon. 15-minute Netflix, Nvidia, TSM, Google. And then a 5-minute on Netflix, Nvidia, TSM, Meta, Google, Apple, Amazon, and the Microsoft. Now, I imagine with the NQ gapping up about 2%, a lot of them will have fired by the open. I'm guessing all the 5-minute. I'm guessing a lot of the 15-minute. But if they're all gone here at the open, I am going to behave myself. I'm going to be patient. I'm going to sit back, and I'll wait for another bus. Next round of lower time frame squeezes. But all right, y'all. Any questions? Anything you want to take a look at? Drop it in the chat. I got you covered. And yeah, again, I think you keep a day trade focus for now. Excuse me, day trade focus for now. And then key levels in my book will be Apple daily 21, Nvidia daily 21, and then the indexes. Over under at your daily 21 EMA. And if we go gapping above them this morning, I'm not going to get giddy. Like, oh boy, here goes QQQ. We're back above our daily 21. I've got to put my entire account into the out the money calls. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to say, all right, good pop QQQ. I applaud you for your efforts. Now prove to me you can even hold above that level. All right, QQQ going to open around 463.50. That'll be a pop directly into that falling 21. So we got to figure out, guys, is it a repeat of the move you had from back here? All right, big flush, rally back, big rejection, big spanking lower. Do we get that again? Gap it up, smooch the 21 EMA, the kiss of death, roll right back over, or could be more of a short-term turning of the page here for the Bulls. And hey, I think if they can get it and keep it above that level, there might be a path here back into 485 to 490. I would love to play the QQQ into 485 to 490. It's about good 6% of upside. But the key thing is I don't have to be the first guy to do that. If I buy QQ at 480 versus buying it at 475, it won't make a major impact on my bottom line PN. So I'm maybe going to have the willingness to be a little bit late to the party. But at that point, I've got more to work with. That kind of thinking. But all right, y'all, whatever you got for me, drop it in the chat. And then real quick, grab a link here for the folks watching on YouTube. So JC will be live tonight after the close. Let me go find that link. Let me see. Simpler Trading. Simpler Trading, not Simpler Treadmill. When have I ever done a YouTube search for Simpler Treadmill? All right, where's Big Dog? I can't find the captain. Hold on, guys. It's here somewhere. There we go. Yeah, so check this out. This would be today at 40 p.m. Eastern. So that is about a half hour after the cash market closes. Let me grab a quick share link for you. But yeah, JC's going live talking about his big picture market outlook. What is he seeing that's bullish, bearish, opportunity setting up, squeezes all the above. So that should be a good time. Okay, yeah, Lorna, for the folks here in our room, that's perfect. So for those of y'all here in the Essentials room, just follow that link that Lorna shared. And then folks on YouTube, he got the link here in the chat. But all right, Robert. Good morning, Robert. Can I take a look at Palantir? Yeah, for sure. The Pal and the Tier. Yeah, nice pop here into 95. The casual 8% pop. All right, now what do you do with an 8% popper? Ideally, buy it before the 8% pop. But for a guy like me who is Palantierless, it'd be the same game plan I work on everything else. Let them gap it up, let them pump it, and then ideally with that, you're getting some 30-minute buy signals. You've already got a few here on Palantir, but ideally on a gap up, you're going to get a 30-minute, a 2-hour. The more, the merrier. And then my game plan would be just be patient, be chill, not in a big rush to buy it. None of that FOMO. I want to catch it on my next 5-minute, 15-minute, 30-minute, 1-hour squeeze. And I think guys in the current market take that game plan, apply it to everything. It's just the size of these swings from a swing trade perspective. I think the only way you can do it is just you buy enough to accept the max loss. When you can buy it up here at 95 and then 3-4 days later you're down about 17% on the equity, you can't buy a call and put a tight stop around it. Then factor in all the jacked up implied volatility. So I think it's two options. No pun intended. A, I'm going to day trade it. 5-minute time frame, 15-minute, 30-minute, 1 hour. Or I am going to take a swing trade approach, but I'm going to size to accept the max loss. They might pull it back 15%. They might cut the calls in half on implied volatility dump. I think those are two great options right now. Risk the debit paid and swing trade it, or day trade the bad boy. And then, as you're doing that, anchor to key levels. So on Palantir, opening into 95. I'd be looking around that daily 50 SMA. And the key not being, hey, can we pop above it? The key being, can we get above it and hold above it? Right, you're popping above it back here and right back down. You pop into it on last Wednesday, big rejection. Now with a gap into 95 and change, that might be their chance to hold that level. They hold it, they give you a 15-minute squeeze, 30-minute squeeze. They might want to take it into the big bad 100. So I like it for a short term, the 50 SMA there. Good looking gap up coming your way. And then Terrell, good morning, my friend. How are you? Taking a look at Robinhood. Taking a trip to the hood. All right, gonna open around 45 and change. And, and not to be a broken record, but from a scoring system standpoint, when the daily chart has a score of 0, um, we can't get any more neutral. The Bulls aren't strong enough to get even 1 point in their favor, and the Bears aren't strong enough to get even 1 point in their favor. So we got this big goose egg, and I think the best case is just day trade a neutral daily chart. We have bear momentum, neutral structure, neutral. I don't think enough edge you want to jump in and buy a call or a put, like I could have back here. So that little blue dot, all those blue dots, that means on that candle you had the perfect score of 15. So all throughout that pushback there, the structure, the trend, momentum, Bulls had everything. They can take that ball and run with it. When you're mixed match and neutral and sloppy, they'll drop it, they'll pop it, they'll drop it, they'll pop it. I think much easier to day trade it. I'm going to pop into 45 and change. So I would mark up that daily 50 as a. Yeah, I'd mark up that daily 50 as an initial target / resistance spot. So call that $47, and then I would mark up your 21 EMA around 41.50. And then my short-term thinking would be, all right, anywhere above that 21 EMA around 41.50, I want to buy it on a good-looking lower time frame trigger. That could just simply be a 5-minute buy signal, 15-minute. My preference is a squeeze. 5-minute buy signal and a squeeze, 15-minute buy signal and a squeeze. I want to catch that moment in time anywhere above that 21 EMA, and then initially play for a pop into the falling 50, which might mean in the gap up here into the open, a little patience might be required for another round of those 15-minute, 5-minute squeezes. But yeah, take that game plan, guys, for anything. If they can gap above their daily 21 EMAs, mark that level, and then play the over-under game. Right. They pull back, break back below their 21 EMAs. We maybe hold off on the idea of going in and getting long. They gap above and hold above. All right, perfect. Give me a 5-minute trigger, a 15, a 30 in hourly, and then I can jump in and get busy. I'm gonna watch the S&Ps through that lens, QQQ, Nvidia, Apple. I think Hood, I think Palantir, all good examples. All good examples. But all right, y'all, I've got to let you go here. Got to take the folks in the main room here through the open. So again, key focus here into the cash open will be Apple. Currently gapping into 211. That will initially get you back above that daily 21. Can they keep it? That'll be really key. And look, no exaggeration. This could be a case of we flush, we get a bit too oversold, short. We get the big short squeeze pop. If they can't hold the ground up here, you could blink and we're heading right back down. The beauty of day trading is if Apple opens up at 210 and they rally from 210 into 215, I can day trade that. Go to bed in cash. And then if Apple closes at 215 and they open tomorrow back at 190, it's no sweat off my back. I don't care if they gap up. I don't care if they gap down. I don't care if Bitcoin looks bullish. I don't care if gold looks bearish. It's, I think, a nice way to handle the current market. But all right, y'all, thank you again. Much appreciated. I wish you all the best of luck this week. Again, don't forget markets are. So best of luck, and I will talk to y'all same time, same channel on Wednesday morning. Adios. My pleasure, Terrell.